So I have never pickled grape leaves before, but that's what I'm going to do in today's video. I hardly ever go out to eat, but whenever I have, usually a Greek salad has been one of my favorite things to order on like a once a year holiday meal type schedule. And one of the things that really stood out to me about that dish back when I would eat it was the stuffed grape leaves, and that they tasted really great, and I thought it was a really neat idea. So in this video I'm going to actually pickle grape leaves, right? So I'm going to go out to the garden, pick some grape leaves, and then just lacto-ferment them basically. So all I did basically was I went out to the garden, and I do not have any cultivated grapes growing there, right? But I do have some wild grapes that came up on their own in the garden over the last few years, and they've grown pretty cool. I'm trying to train some up, some of the sumac trees, just to kind of see how that relationship pans out. And so I went ahead and I collected some of these leaves, right? And so going through selecting some of the foliage, like the grape leaves can be kind of larger leaved, and so taking some of those out also helped to fragment that plant cover close to the ground. So it may actually also contribute to helping small animals like voles feel less safe out there, right? So I had a little bit of a vested interest in making sure that happened. So what I did was I collected the grape leaves that were fully mature, right? Not the young ones, not the small ones, but the fully mature ones that were of a pretty good size, but not like the really old ones. But there's that happy medium, right? Grape leaves can be high in tannins, phenolics, antioxidants, stuff like that. And so there's very much of a preservation effect to it. In fact, some people would add grape leaves or oak leaves, in some cases, to different lacto-fermented dishes like sauerkraut or whatever it may be, to help keep the food, the plant material that they were fermenting, to help keep that crisp, right, and help it keep its integrity, structural integrity. So the grape leaves themselves, pickling them might be interesting too, because they might kind of have that effect on themselves, right? So they might last a pretty long time in that briny solution, maybe over the winter time, and you can kind of supplement your diet with some stuffed grape leaf type dishes, right, during that time. And so maybe you get some probiotics, or if you cook them, maybe not so much, but you potentially get some antioxidants and other nutrients that might not otherwise be readily available during that time of the year. So I got these grape leaves. Again, I tried to pick the ones that were not like super insect damaged, and then I brought them in. I picked them during the morning time too. That's usually before the really hot sun beats down on the leaves. And so I brought them inside, I inspected them, make sure all the leaves that I picked were in fact grape leaves, and then I stacked them one on top of the other, rolled them up, and kind of folded them into a jar, right? And I did that several times until I kind of filled the jar about halfway, maybe a little over halfway. Added in some salt and some water, and then eventually I also added in a rock on top to help keep the grape leaf submerged in that brine, right? Because that's key to help limit growth of mold or anything like that. You don't want plant matter sticking up above the surface. That can be not ideal. And so I used like a silica-based rock that I found out in the garden, and that seemed to work out pretty well. I also put some sort of cover on top of that jar. You could use like a lid or a towel or something like that to help keep out any flies or anything like that that might be buzzing around this time of the year, or fruit flies, whatever the case may be. We're at the end of July, beginning of August, mid-August, and so I've been filming this video over the course of multiple weeks, so it's within that time span. But we can have fruit flies and stuff like that, and I don't want to. And so a lid is really helpful for keeping out any maggots or anything like that. And then I let it set for about a week or two. Now it's still going. We're on like week 4 or 5 now probably, and it's looking great. The grape leaves have a nice sour, kind of astringent flavor to them, and I'm really kind of excited to see what kind of recipes maybe I can cook up to really include these grape leaves effectively into my diet. Thank you so much for checking out this video on pickled grape leaves, right? Now the question is, what do I do with them now? So if you have any experience with cooking with grape leaves and making dishes out of that kind of thing, definitely feel free to let me know, or let the wider community know, let us know what you like to do with them. So I'm all ears for, you know, different types of ideas and stuff. I know some people like to throw rice in there, or maybe you could do potatoes, I don't know. But definitely it looks like I'll be having some experimenting to do heading into the future with this. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to subscribe and join as a member. Helps out the channel. Thanks for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.